Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Paper Bag Club podcast. My name is Aliyes. With me, as always, is Richard Knox.
Heyo.
How you doing today?
Oh, so well.
Doing well. This is episode 14. Did I say that already?
14.
14. I think we missed last episode by like 2 days. That was my fault, but we're still going.
His fault.
Yeah, all me. But today we're going to be talking about IKEA. IKEA. And some crazy stories we've heard.
Done some research about the craziness that is IKEA.
Yeah, so I figured we'd start off by talking a little bit about our experiences, as I've been, I think this is my third time. Okay, third time that I remember, but I think my parents brought me when I was younger, for my fourth time, really my first time. But I don't remember that. So I'm going to say that the time we went last week, was it last week already?
It was about a week ago, yeah.
So that was my third time, and that was your first time.
That was my first experience with IKEA, yes.
So let's go ahead and start with that. What do you think?
Well, I absolutely...
Actually, I was going to say, what did you think IKEA was before you went?
So I thought it was pretty much what I saw, except for the very end of it.
Yeah.
So I knew it was a place where it's like a department store for all your home needs. Mm-hmm. So I was super excited about going in and seeing what it was all about, especially because I needed some things for my house. Mm-hmm. So going in and actually being able to experience it, I was like a kid in like a candy store, but an adult. Like,
in
I was
a
like,
furniture store.
Ooh, this, ooh, this, ooh, this. And it was super strange because there was a lot of things that I thought were extremely cool that I thought would be really expensive. Mm-hmm. And they weren't really expensive. And then there was things that I thought were really weird. That I was like, who's going to buy this? And they were really expensive.
Yeah. It was definitely weird. I think there was one time we went and there was a... I forget what the cheap thing was that we thought was expensive, but there was like a really, really, really not great looking rug. I think it was like an animal skin rug or something, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this thing's probably like $12. It was like $250.
Yeah, it was super expensive. And I think that was the same room where we saw there was like 5 rugs all just like laying on top of each other. And there were some that were like $400, then there were some that were like $50. It didn't make any sense. They were all the same size.
Yeah. Now, before going, did you know that they had like designated like rooms built as like examples and stuff, or you just thought it was like...
No, so yeah, that was super strange too, because I just thought it was going to be just shelves and shelves of just, kind
of like Target and Walmart's furniture section.
And that wasn't the case at all. And going in, seeing that everything is basically display, and you write down the number that you want, and at the very end, it's like the department area, and you just go and pick it out, was super strange. There were some things you can grab. Like I think we got your mom some black sponges, and there you just pick those up. But any of the furniture stuff, they just display everywhere until you got like to the very end. Yeah. And then they had all the shelves of all the boxes, and you go and just grab what you needed. Yeah,
definitely. For those of you watching, the desk we're actually sitting on, and pretty much half of the furniture, like desk stuff in this office, is IKEA. My personal taste for furniture is either all white or all black. I don't really like a lot of color. I think white and black do the job well. So all the tables, actually the table we're sitting on right now, we picked up in Jacksonville last week when we went, and that was kind of the main purpose of going, other than just having Richard go for his first time.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Jacksonville is the closest IKEA to us, and it's about 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, I think the closest one after that is...
Charlotte?
Yeah, which is, I want to say 4 give or take. Yeah. Hours. So, and it just worked out better that way, I think. So we also got my sister. So
yeah, that, and I think we need a cool little road trip.
Also, box lunch. I'm not sure if there was one in North Carolina. Yeah,
we went to a box.
That was like a secondary reason, but it worked out well because I got that hat, which was a crazy story in itself. Not crazy, but cool. Yeah. But let's get back to IKEA real quick.
Yeah, so I ended up getting a coffee table and then a cool like laptop stand, but for like food, just so we can keep close to the couch, so we can have our food on like a tray and bring it out, so we're not having to like lean over if we're wanting to eat in the living room and not in the dining room, which we always do.
Yeah.
And I think you got this table, and then you got some trays as well.
Yeah, like lap trays or something, and they have like a little holder for your phone or tablet or whatever.
Yeah, well, I know if I would have brought my girlfriend, we would have left with a lot of other stuff.
A lot more, yeah.
Because I would definitely have no self-control if she was there. I would have been like, yeah, we can get that. Yeah, we can get that. Instead of
just
like,
write the number down and let's dip.
Yeah. And there was a lot of things I wanted. I think one of the cool things we saw, and it was one of the things that were not as expensive as we thought. And I was probably really close to buying was a cube organizer.
Yeah.
And I have cube organizers at the house. I have 2 6 cube organizers, and I got them from like Walmart, and they were like 30.
25,
I think
give or
they were
take?
like
Yeah,
around
something
$25
like that.
$30 each. And which wasn't bad, but this one was a 25 cube organizer.
25.
It was taller than me. It was super wide, and I think it was like $150.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me. I was like, I don't even know where I would put this in here.
Yeah. All you need is one. Mm-hmm. Probably fit on the whole wall too.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't fill them all up. There's no way I could fill them all up.
But it'd be interesting to try. Mm-hmm. I want to
Have a
see.
whole
I want to
wall
see like a
just
house where they actually utilize that.
I want to
25.
get rich and then buy a house and only put IKEA in it. This is an IKEA house only.
Yeah, the entire house, and then you can just switch it up every season and just go back to IKEA. Say, I'll take this room.
Yeah, that was another cool thing they did is in their model rooms. They had tags on some. It was like, hey, this room costs this much money, and they broke it down, all the things in it. And granted, there were some things in there, like they would have like fake clothes or something like it in there, but like all the furniture they'd have in there, so you can make your room out. And they would say, hey, this is the square footage you need. This is all the furniture in here, every piece, and this is how much each piece costs, and this is how much you're going to be spending. So I thought that was really cool. So man, wait till I buy a house.
Yeah, a lot of the only thing I didn't like, and I think I told you this when we were there, is that a lot of the model homes or model rooms are like very, very tight, and like like they'll have like a closet and it's super organized, but they only have like 4 articles of clothing, right? It's just
like,
not practical.
This is definitely big enough for you to have 3 outfits only.
Yeah, and like the thing that I did like a lot was that shoe drawer thing.
Oh yeah, it's like you just pulled it open and it was like slanted, so you
was
put
like,
all
I
your
didn't know.
pairs of shoes in there.
But IKEA is pretty smart with their space saving. I'd say technology techniques, I guess is the right word. Because like
it'd be good for a lot of like
stuff.
studio homes, like
Yeah, I think
that's
that's
big cities.
I think it was a pretty common reoccurrence with a lot of the model rooms. It's like I think the smallest one we saw was like 300 square feet.
Yeah,
Which, if you don't know, that's probably smaller than this room.
yeah, and that's supposed to be like the room and
The bathroom, the kitchen, and like all of it. But it's still very interesting how they do things. One thing that I've wanted to get for a while is they're kind of like the cube shelves, but on a wall, and they pop out.
Oh, okay,
Marley
yeah,
really
I
wants
do
those.
say that. They're like 3D. Some are out more than the others.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. There's some definitely neat stuff there.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back. And it sucks that it's so far away because I had a great time.
It's
just
probably
looking
good that
around.
it's so far away.
And one thing we saw as well was that, they have like a layout to where you can go through each section. There was 24 sections, right? And it was like a
27.
maze. It was like a maze. And the map they have goes straight. It's real
Yeah.
linear, but that's not how it is in there,
No,
right?
not at all.
And they have signs and things on the floor like arrows to show you which way to get to section 2. And then they have shortcuts to get from 2 to 8 if you want to skip and go straight to somewhere else. But we went through the whole thing straight, and we're going, I said, this linear path, and then we had to go backwards to get something, and then we didn't realize we were missing a whole bunch of stuff that was behind us.
Yeah.
I was like, where did all of this stuff come from?
Right. But it's also like you can't walk backwards because the store's meant to go in one way. So it's like if you go backwards, you're that guy. And
We were that guy a couple times.
yeah, there's one time we went to like section 12 and then had to go back to 8 and then go back to 12 and then go back to 8 again and then go back to 12.
We're not pro IKEAers.
Yeah. But it was a great time. I know the
IKEA
very
nights.
first time that I went was Marley and me went to the Jacksonville one, and that was I think about a year ago, give or take. And I never rememberingly gone. Like I said, my parents brought me when I was younger, but I didn't know what it was. So for me, when I went about a year ago was my first time.
We have to go to the store.
Yeah, so that was my first time that I remember and wanted to go. Now the reason I went there was actually to get this desk. Or no, that's not true. I ended up walking away with this desk. But when I went there, I was like, oh well, I had the day off. Let's go to IKEA. Sure. I think Marley actually wanted to get something there that was there, and I said, okay, well, there's a mall there. We'll probably spend most of the day there. Let's go to IKEA. We'll spend, I don't know, maybe 2 hours max. Like, it's a furniture store. What am I going to do, right? And we left at like 9 a.m., got there around noon, and walked. We were there for 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. We definitely weren't there for that long. I
I think we did 2 hours.
Yeah,
maybe
well,
3.
because I had to go back to the car,
Yeah.
pull forward, go back, run in. And while it was raining,
Yeah, that was a good rain.
it was a crazy rain.
Yeah, it wasn't raining when we got there, and then as we checked out, it like poured down. I was like, you gonna get the
Yeah,
car?
well, what I did is we went completely through IKEA. We got Elias whatever he was buying. I pulled the car back so we can load up the car, and then I decided I wanted stuff, so we had to go back through IKEA to go get the stuff. And I said it's like a maze, so you couldn't just go straight to where you wanted. You had to go through a whole bunch of other sections before you can get to where you needed to.
Yeah.
So we went through IKEA basically twice.
Yeah, if not 3 times overall.
Yeah, in a matter of just a couple hours. So,
but it was a good time. IKEA is very fun, even if you like don't know what you're trying to get.
You're gonna leave with something.
Yeah, if it's not furniture, probably food.
Yeah, meatballs.
Yeah, which is another big part. For those of you who don't know, IKEA is actually such like a big store that I can only imagine that they designed it this way on purpose. But it's such a big store that they put a cafeteria like in the center of the lineage of like sections or whatever, and it's a Swedish store like so I don't know any other Swedish food
IKEA,
than Swedish meatballs. But they're notoriously known for their
fish.
Swedish fish, Swedish meatballs, and
I don't know if Swedish fish are actually Swedish. But.
yeah, I can only assume. But the cafeteria is kind of like an integral part of the experience of going to IKEA. And we got there, and right when you walk in, there was a sign that said the cafeteria is closed due to technical difficulties.
As soon as we got in.
It's like the first thing I saw. I was like, okay, well, we might as well go home because you're not going to get the full experience. And it was a little sad. Now, they do sell them frozen, but frozen's not the same as fresh.
Yeah, I didn't want to take a 2-hour drive home just to go put them in a frying pan and cook them myself.
Yeah, so, I mean, definitely recommend eating there at least once if it's like your first time. I mean, it might not be for you, so you can skip that. But I know a lot of people actually go to IKEA specifically just for the cafeteria. Like, they'll just go there for lunch.
So what you feeling? I'm feeling some meatballs.
Right. So that was pretty cool. I always enjoy going to IKEA. The like I said, the first time we were there for 6 hours, I had actually spent about 4 hours in the desk section.
Oh, wow.
Because, me, my desk and my office, my setup, whatever, is kind of pretty important to me. And I just wanted to make it as perfect as possible, and I didn't want to make a second trip. So I'm sitting there, like I'll go there, I'll sit at the desk, and I'm like imagining like, okay, my computer's here, mouse is here, keyboard here, and then I'm like cable management, like all running through my head. So literally Marley just sitting in a chair, and I'm just like this for like 20 minutes, just like like doing the math in my head.
That. Yeah, in my head, I'm always trying to figure out stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna make it work one way or another. I like this.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it work.
So I mean, and another thing with IKEA is it's not like you go there and there's like, okay, this is a desk, that's it. This is a couch, that's it. This is a shelf, that's it, right? You can customize and combine multiple different things together. Like a lot of people will get super creative and they'll do like a wooden kitchen like dining room table and then put it on like a pair of shelves and then call it a desk, which is pretty common.
Yeah.
With a lot of desk setup people, and you can do that with like tons of stuff from shelves to like your kitchen to desks to chairs to like it's pretty extensive.
I remember seeing some of the chairs they had there. It was, I was like, man.
Yeah, because also another thing is IKEA. For those of you who don't know, there's like a running joke online that like if it's from IKEA, you have to build it yourself.
Yeah,
and that's the case with almost all of their products.
You see, this table we just got actually for him, he put in 2 screws, and that was it.
Well, tell him how much there was. It's a 5-piece kit, 4 legs you had to buy individually, and then the desk, and then I did 2 screws out of the
5
20
each,
20 in total.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah.
2 of
and then
the
I got
20.
tired, so I need a power tool, which IKEA sells power tools.
He said, "Oh man, my arm is hurting." I put in the other 18 in just a couple minutes.
My arm hurt from being the passenger all day. You were driving all day.
That's right. I was driving, so I can see why your arm would hurt.
Yeah, carrying all the bags and showing you the way.
That makes sense. It's a lot of pointing.
Mm-hmm.
I see how that can hurt your arm.
There. Yeah, I just got to work it out, man. So IKEA is great. I love it. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah, I cannot wait to go back. I think that now that I understand it a little more, I'm going to have more of a plan going in.
Well, the next time you go, if I'm not with you, if the cafeteria is open, definitely try the
definitely.
meatballs.
So we have some shelves in our living room, right on each side of our entertainment system, and they're IKEA, but we got them secondhand. Someone was selling them on the Facebook Marketplace, and we liked how they look, and we're like, hey, if you can deliver them, we'll pay you an extra like $10, and because we really like the shelves, and they brought them. And that was the only experience I had with IKEA before this was those shelves we bought off of the Facebook Marketplace. So going in and being able to see this, and then taking the stuff home and having to build it too. It's not difficult. I built the stuff in maybe 15 minutes. But you know, it was a really cool and fun experience because one, I like building, I like working with my hands. So it's something I don't get to do often. But I know you've seen my game room.
Yeah.
All the shelving in there I did myself.
Which is a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Now, actually, so my kitchen set up the stuff on the wall. That's all IKEA too.
Yeah.
Custom. My parents did that.
IKEA.
Yeah. So
they went in and built it themselves.
yeah, I mean, and you can get even more customization because like I don't think we got a chance to show you this, but they'll have actual people working there who will like take like the parameters of like your kitchen or whatever and like customize it specifically to your needs exactly.
Oh, really?
So they can even like cut desk and cut whatever you want and make it like completely customizable.
Like, this is the floor plan. This is how much space we got. What you gonna do?
Right, and they can do that, and it's pretty extensive. Now, I never had to do that just because all I really worry about is my desks and like maybe wall shelves for now. But it's definitely interesting how much you can do there.
Yeah, it really
it's like
is.
a Swedish furniture store. Another game that's really fun is trying to pronounce the names of everything.
Yes, they're all in the Swedish language of
Which is
Swede.
Swede. Yeah, so it's very interesting trying to pronounce the names of things, and I'm sure that's a running joke also.
Kerblagenschlagen.
And Florgenblurg.
Florgenblurg.
Yeah, this table is called a Linmon, so that was not too crazy. But I'm sure if you look at a bed frame, it's a tongue twister, all right.
And they spell it in English, which was the worst part. When you see two K's
like
and then an R,
translating.
you're like,
Yeah, yep, that's right. So, in our research before this, we went ahead and looked up a couple of some crazy stories that happen at IKEA because I've heard some things, and I even made a joke that a game that would be really fun is to do hide and seek at an IKEA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like black lights or only something like that.
It'd be difficult.
Yeah, it'd be fun though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hiding in a bathroom in like section 12.
I'd like to rent out IKEA for a day.
So I'll go ahead and read a couple and have you read the others. So we just searched up crazy IKEA stories, and we're going to let you know. So the first one says that a 12-year-old boy hides in IKEA for 6 days after getting in an argument with his mother.
So you can imagine we're talking about doing hide and seek. A kid hid for 6 days.
So yeah, we both used to live on Camp Pendleton in California, and we would play Manhunt pretty often. So I'm sure we could last 6 days, if not
They
more.
do got a cafeteria.
Yeah, right.
It's like, aren't you that kid? No, my mom's over there. She sent me to come get some of the meatballs.
Yeah. So we're in section 12. That's all I know. So I mean, that'd be pretty fun playing hide and seek, unless you get stuck there for 6 days and then almost die or whatever.
Like, I forgot where the shortcut was back to the exit.
Yeah, which another thing is when you walk in there, like they have a map of the entire store to tell you where you are, what the shortcuts are, like you mentioned earlier. They also have a daycare for your children.
That was also true. I was
is
asking
crazy.
what that was.
Like right in the front, you check your kids in, they go play with other kids, watch the movies, and then you can shop for hours on end or whatever.
Which makes me wonder if your parents didn't do that to you when you were there before.
Maybe.
They said, no, you're walking.
I don't remember. Well, I don't know. All right, next one. I got 2 people got stabbed to death in the kitchen section. Section 12. Yeah, because they have like little utensils and like knives on display or whatever. So, I mean, that's why.
It's crazy because I remember looking at some of the knives there and they were all doled out.
Oh, super dull.
I wonder if that was
That must have been pretty hard stabbing.
hard stabbing or if that's the reason why they're dull now.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
We can't put the sharp objects out anymore.
Yeah, I can see that because I know if you go to like Walmart or Target, they'll have like the knife sets, but like they're like locked in there.
Yeah.
So that was real interesting. All right, the next one. Now, before I say this one, also in the front of IKEA because they just have so much. They thought of it all. They also have bags, kind of like a cart equivalent, but it's just a bag you can carry all around the store if you want to pick up little things here and there, and they're great. So this next one is a body was found in an IKEA bag.
And these bags are pretty big, right?
Yeah, they're pretty big.
I don't think they're big enough to hold. Oh, actually, they might be if it's dismembered.
I think the article said that he was like contorted and like folded over.
Because when we first heard about that one, I was like, man, I don't know, a whole body. Like, is this like a small person? Like,
I think it was a full adult, but he was like Taiwanese or something.
But now that
that's the article, not me.
he was Taiwanese, so he's basically a midget.
There you go.
No, I remember you holding up those trays.
Yeah.
In that big old bag, and they fit the 2 trays, and they're pretty big. You can fit a whole meal on these trays. And now I'm thinking, man,
maybe
if it was dismembered, you could fit that in that bag. You really could.
I can have you read some of the next ones.
Okay. Another one we saw was there was a child crushed beneath some of the furniture in there, which I think is definitely something that is not crazy to think happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of furniture in there. I know for almost every kind of furniture you buy from there, like they'll have like a little manual or whatever, is they'll have these wall hook attachments.
Yeah.
And they tell you to if it's up against the wall that you need to hook it to the wall and really get in there so that something like this doesn't happen.
I think the craziest thing is how normal it really sounds is because kids like to climb on everything. Yeah. And the shelves I have in my game room came with that too. It came with like a piece of like
it's like a little rope
like
or
a
something.
Strap,
Yeah.
That you would like screw into the wall so they couldn't lean forward and tip forward if you're putting stuff on it. And my IKEA shelves in my living room are decently heavy too. So to think that, there was a child probably lifting or climbing on it and it tipping over on them, it could do some damage.
Yeah, especially for like an infant or a super young child, which is crazy.
Yeah, so some of the stuff is really heavy. Really heavy. And next, we had a toddler chokes on window blinds in IKEA.
It's like, what?
Yeah,
how?
I can't, unless he broke it off.
That's the only way I can think is if you're just like stuck on there, just like trying to stuck a blind.
Yeah, which is super strange. Watch your kids.
Yeah,
they have a daycare.
So there's a lot of stuff in IKEA. Like each model room has like so many small things. So definitely watch out for that. Was there another one or was that it?
And then we have guy pretends to be a couple therapist inside.
Because my phone cut off.
Yeah, your phone died. Guy pretends to be a couples therapist inside of an IKEA. And I said, that's not a bad. It's like a bad thing to do. I need some clients before I get my own office. So
right.
We can go to IKEA. They got these rooms set up already.
Already set up and ready. For you. Yeah. Well, when we were getting your coffee table, now there was one couch that had like a fake dog on it.
Yeah.
And when I turned the corner the first time, I thought it was real. So I don't know if you saw this, but I was sitting on the couch and I was just like petting it like it was a real dog, and I would look at the people turning the corner and I had some faces. They're like, "What the fuck?
Does he have a dog in here?
Right?
What is going on?" Yeah. I don't think that is. I don't know what their rules on it are.
For dogs.
You're going for having a business in there.
Oh,
it's like, hey guys, we're gonna have our business meeting in IKEA today.
Right. I mean, they have them set up already. So you just argue, "Oh, we're just shopping."
It's like, no, we're just seeing how the setting would feel.
Yeah.
You have a list, sir. You have an agenda for this meeting. We just want it to be authentic.
Here, wait. Let's sneak in IKEA and record this podcast.
Right?
IKEA.
Oh my God. Okay, guys. Y'all better look out for that episode because next time we go to IKEA, we're bringing our recorder and everything. It's like, no. We're just seeing how it would feel. We're trying to get this podcast going.
So we live like 6 hours away. We don't want to drive back, so we need to test every section to make sure it looks good.
There's just people walking back in the background. You see all their faces are blurred out. This is happening now.
Yeah,
it's definitely happening. And then the last thing on here is we've read and did some mild research on this one. Is that people shoot X-rated videos in IKEA.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any myself.
There's a lot of beds.
There is IKEA, a lot of beds, but there's also a lot of places to hide.
Yeah.
When we were going through, there's definitely like fake closets or fake bathrooms where they have like a cover so you can like go in and see how it would feel in there. And there's like all these like nooks and crannies that you could hide and perform these acts without getting caught. And that's insane to me.
Yeah.
That it's on this level. I mean, I'm sure that there's videos of people like doing these things in like Walmart's, like flashing in public or doing something. But for it to be as normal as what we read or as much as what we read, that
full on,
that there's all this going on in IKEA, it's like.
Now
it's
just
not
imagine,
unbelievable.
Now just imagine
crazy.
working there and being like on the walkie, like, "Hey, they fucking in section 12."
Yeah, that same place where that guy got stabbed.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it. It's like all these stores are the same store.
It's the same one IKEA.
Said, "Hi, we're hiring
the Florida
bullshit a bullshit investigator." Yeah, I can't imagine working at IKEA and having to walk past customers having sex on your... Imagine if you're the person who made that room, too.
I'm sorry. Privacy, please. Shut the door.
So now imagine being the person who actually like designed that room or built it.
They must be proud. So they chose my room. My room was the best location.
Maybe they make bets on that.
It's like how we said we're going to go in and film our podcast.
Yeah, just like that.
It's like, wow, that room looks really nice.
Yeah, but the sound dampening, it's a really good background. Now, there was a couple of other stories on this, list of stuff we looked up that involved a lot of deaths at IKEA, but not in IKEA. It was like the parking lot or behind them or like in the cafeteria, which that's inside of it. But there was a couple of them that were like in the parking lot, which is like just weird. I don't know if that was coincidence or not.
Yeah.
One of them was like a suicide. Another one was like someone dying by getting hit by a car or something.
Like, you know what? I don't want to live on this earth anymore. I'm just going to take myself out. Where? IKEA.
My happiest place.
It's the only place I can go. And I genuinely felt happy there. Like,
it was nice.
I think you made the response earlier before we started the podcast. It's like a kid going into a Lego store. There's so many different things that you can look and see and imagine how things would work out if you got them and put them in, your house.
Yeah.
And I think that being an adult, one of your biggest, things you like to show off is your home.
Yeah.
So to speak, it's, something you're really proud about. It's something like when you have company that you want to look nice for them.
Yeah, and you can like make it your own.
And they have so many options.
So
I said, and it's really cheap to a point where, I was going in and thinking I was going to drop hundreds and hundreds of dollars just trying to get a couple things.
Yeah.
And I left thinking, okay, now I see what all they have. I'm planning.
Yeah.
how to build, what to put together, what to put where.
So yeah, well, they also have like their family member discount type thing. It's just like a free to sign up thing. Yeah. And then also they have their credit card, which I'm sure I'll get eventually.
And they have Swedish candy.
Yeah. And it's a lot. They have like 2 little cafeterias. Also around... Just around the store, they'll have like these little posts that have like tape measures on them, so you can use so they've like thought of everything. Even something else I found out about when we went last time was right near their bathrooms in the front. They have those lockers that are free.
Oh yeah, that's right too.
What in the world?
Which was so insane. Like it's just open, and then when you shut, you just put in a code, and then it locks it with that code. And when you come back, you just type it again, and it unlocks it. And then all you have to do is put in a different code again. And then it locks it again with that code.
Yeah, so they've thought about it a lot. So I think I can imagine that'd be a good place to work. I mean, I can only imagine at least. And then
well, if you have to find people having sex, then it's like
maybe not. Like,
we're gonna give you some mental days,
right? Or a little bonus for that.
Something. Say, hey, I saw the guy get stabbed, and I saw the people having sex. I need to take a couple days off. It's okay, Greg. You can do that.
Right. And then. For those of you who don't know, I think we kind of brushed over it, but once you like go through the whole store, the very end is like a big old warehouse full of just furniture or like packaged up. And as you're going through the store, you'll be like, okay, cool, I want this desk. It'll say like, okay, this can be found in aisle 21, bin 8. And then you go to the warehouse, you go to that section, and you just pull one out and take it to the register and pay for it. Then you're done.
Yeah, so we're saying that you go in, it's all model stuff. You can't just take that there. They have the little sign with the SKU number on it, and you write that down, and then you go to the warehouse, which is in the same building. Yeah, but you wouldn't think it. When you get there, you're like, what the heck is going on? I'm in a warehouse now, and that's where you pick up the stuff, and you just take it out to go and get it. So it was a really good experience. I cannot wait to go back again because I have so many ideas I'd like to, put into effect in my house.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Same. I could honestly see myself, if I had the money for it at least, or if I invested in the credit card or whatever, completely furnishing my entire house with IKEA stuff and wouldn't have to go anywhere else.
Nowhere.
To Walmart, Target, Ashley Furniture Store, like nothing like that. Just all IKEA.
And I just started getting into Amazon, and I'm like, man, there's everything in Amazon, for your house. And then I went to IKEA. I was like, screw Amazon.
Yeah, you hear that, Jeff Bezos?
I wonder who's the CEO of Amazon. I wonder how much they're worth.
Amazon or IKEA?
IKEA.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine a lot. Yeah.
You just said that one. Yeah. I wonder who's the CEO of IKEA, how much they're worth. It's a wonderful story.
Now, I wonder if... So I've been to 2 different ones. The one in Jacksonville, and then when we went to Salt Lake, we went to one there. That one was a little different because it was a 2-story one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it was like the same stuff. It was just,
of course.
Yeah. And now I know it's a Swedish, company, so I wonder if like the original one in Sweden is like bigger or better.
True. Or, more popular because it's the first one.
Maybe I'll put that on my list of things to go. So where do you want to?
Let's go to the original IKEA.
All right.
Visit every IKEA in every country and in all the worlds that there ever was.
Yeah, I want to look that up. After this, I'll look up how many IKEAs there are.
Man has sex in every IKEA.
That'll be my legacy.
No, that's crazy. But I said I really cannot wait to go again. I'm gonna have a blast going again now that I know what to expect and what I'm gonna look at, because I'm not gonna go. I am gonna skip so many sections. I said I know all the little shortcuts. So I'm like, no, I need to go here. I'm gonna look at this. I need to go here. I'm gonna look at this.
Yeah. Like the lights. Remember the light?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. They had a lot of cool lights. They had these lights where you pull
everything.
You pull one string and it's like a ball and it opens up, and then it's like a design or like a flowers and everything, and then you pull the other one and it just shuts back into it like a sphere.
And they have that flower one too, which is wicked. I never saw that before.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, IKEA is awesome. If you've never been, highly recommend it. Just
5 stars.
Maybe leave your wallet in the car
12.
for the first time.
Out of 5.
Just for the first time. Last time we went, it was a 5 out of 12 because their cafeteria was closed.
Yeah,
definitely. Come on, man.
What'd they say the problem was?
Technical difficulties. What does that mean?
We have to digitize all of our meatballs. The digitizer's not working today.
Yeah, so it was great. Glad I got to take you. That was fun. It's always fun seeing someone's first time. Yeah.
I didn't take you.
You were in the car.
Remember your pointing hand?
Said, go over there. Now go over there. Yeah,
it was wonderful time. Yeah, let us know. Have you ever been to IKEA? What's some of the stuff that you've bought while you were there? What's some things that you'd like to buy? And do you like their meatballs? Because I did not have the pleasure of trying them. Just give us a like and comment below. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. We're the Paper Bag Club, and as always, it's been a wonderful time.
Later. And then we'll do a fist bump and then
IKEA.
Oh man, yo, I dropped my Coke.
So bad. I think you did well. Like, we laughed, but you said screw cleaning that up.
Yeah, so you gotta commit. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't think we missed out a lot.